We got some breaking news. The Las Vegas Raiders are bringing back Adam Butler, and if you don't spam 69 on today's show, you're never getting it ever again. If you're too young to understand what that means, then you don't understand how excited I am that the fact that the Raiders were able to bring back Adam Butler, because I'm telling you this right now, you got to be able to win in the trenches, and that's exactly what Adam Butler does. So coming up here on today's show, I'm Mitchell Renz. This is the Raiders Report, and if you plan on hanging out with me and Jeremy Chuggs, we're going to be live probably over 30 hours this week. I literally here at the Chat Sports Studios, I was helping out our Steelers Seahawks guys, the DK Metcalf trade. But man, oh man, it's going to be wild, and I am so happy that the Raiders brought back Adam Butler. So coming up here on today's show, I'll tell you how much the contract was for Butler. I'll give you my grade on what I think everything is around it. I'll tell you what the Raiders defensive line looks like as it stands right now. And then I'll also throw in at the very end of today's show just some maybe other players that I would like for the Raiders to target tomorrow with NFL free agency. All right, so this one ended up coming in just about a few minutes ago, and it is a 3-year contract, 16.5 with 11 million guaranteed. If you were somebody that was worried about whatever Geno Smith's salary cap is going to look like, and again, people that are looking at it and saying it's $31 million, that's not 100% accurate because the trade hasn't technically officially gone through. The Raiders aren't going to have to pay that much. Plus, once the new deal happens, they're going to, structure the money around. But if you were somebody that was worried about how are we going to be able to fill certain holes on our defense because we paid Geno Smith and Max Crosby, and I hear you loud and clear, we're going to be able to finagle some money. We're going to be able to clear up some space where we're going to have, I think, actually have a lot more money than what people anticipate. Anyway, when you bring in Adam Butler at only, again, 11 million guaranteed, let's say it's whatever it might be, 5 million for math's sake. If that's what it is for a player of Adam Butler's caliber, that is a huge pat on the back, and that is a phenomenal start. I was worried that we weren't going to bring back, Merrick, Spillane, Hobbs, Kuntz, Kayvon Chasen. I don't know if Kayvon deserves to be in that list of names there. No disrespect, Kayvon, but let's be real. But even, also somebody like Butler, I was worried that we weren't going to be able to bring back any of those guys, or we weren't going to be able to bring back. But I made a video a few weeks ago, and I said that Adam Butler was my number one free agent target that I wanted the Raiders to bring back because he does a lot of the dirty work. And, he's one of those guys on a basketball court that he gets 10 rebounds every single night. He might not give you 10 points. He might give you 6 or 7 points. But because he got those boards, your main scorers are able to go out and get 20. Your point guard's able to go out and get 10 assists. He just makes everybody so much better around him. And when you think about this Raiders defensive line, you got Max Crosby, who you just paid at one point, for about a week, the highest amount of money anybody's ever got that wasn't a quarterback. Then on top of that, you invested a lot of money in Christian Wilkins last offseason. That's obviously very important that works out. And then even though it's not really their guy, but Tyree Wilson, the number 7 overall pick, you got to make sure that works out. So in all honesty, I look at that move and I look at the Raiders going, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put Adam Butler in there at defensive tackle, Christian Wilkins, and then we're going to make Tyree Wilson work out. And if you can't work next to Adam Butler, then you know what? It's the 4th year, and I think we kind of know how that boat's going to go. It's a big year for Tyree, and I want the Raiders to be able to bring back Malcolm Kuntz, but overall, I don't know if they're going to have the money to do it. So I could see them trying to bring back a cheaper option as a Kayvon Chasen now on that defensive line. Here's what I want to know, though, from all of y'all down below. I want you to grade the move. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F. My grade is going to be coming up here after this YouTube ad break, so when that ad is playing, scroll on down and give me those grades. It's an A+ grade for me, man. I think it's a great move by this Raiders team. You got to be able to win in the trenches. I did a video a few weeks ago. Please, the amount of free agency videos that I've made that people I don't even know if they've seen, you got to check them out before free agency starts. I did a video right after the Super Bowl. Players that I want the Raiders to go get in the trenches, because if you don't win in the trenches, I don't give a shit who your quarterback is. I don't give a shit who your running back is. I don't give a shit who your guys in your back end are. If you don't win in the trenches, you will not win in the NFL. But Adam Butler was ranked very high on that video for me. You can also go check out my best value free agents video, which is where I talk about the players that I think are the best bang for your buck, and I had Adam Butler as my best bang for my buck defensive end, or defensive tackle. I said last season, and I've been saying it a lot this offseason, that I really think that Butler was one of the most underappreciated, if not the most underappreciated player that the Raiders had on their entire team. And as I'm making this video, Max Crosby just tweeted out like, no effing way. He's fired up about it because he knows the importance of keeping somebody like Butler. But also, we talk about continuity. We talk about stability. We talk about keeping people together. And when you look at what Crosby wanted, he wanted to be able to keep that defensive line. Adam Butler's got Patrick Graham ties back from their days in Miami. He's got Christian Wilkins ties from days back in Miami. Rob Leonard ties back from Miami. I mean, we're talking back in 2019 type of shit. And now this past year with Max Crosby and Butler's coming off a career year. He was pretty pissed off, I know, last season when he didn't end up getting a contract that he wanted. Goes out there, has a prove-it year, and shows that he can still play at a high level. And people might say, oh, it's 3 years, $30 million. If there's a few positions that, honestly, some of these guys have been able to show defensive tackle and honestly offensive line have been two positions that have been able to get solid play from people down the road. Like Calais Campbell's 38 years old and he's still playing at a high level. If you told me right now we could sign Calais Campbell to a 1 year proof of deal to put him right behind Adam Butler and have a great rotation with Christian Wilkins, I would love that interior, man. I would absolutely love that interior. All right, y'all, again, if you don't know, we will be live tomorrow on the Raiders Report, and somebody literally just sent me a text, and they go, how much for you to go live tonight? The only way I'm going live, and I'm going to give you until midnight my time, so you got 2 hours. If I get a $500 Venmo, I promise you I will go live, and we're going to party for the Adam Butler move. But that's the only way, because here's the thing. I got to get up tomorrow, and I already look tired. I got to get up tomorrow at 6 a.m. We got to be here at the Chat Sports Studios by 7 a.m. Anyway, it's going to be wild tomorrow, man. But I'll pull up for the nation. We'll see if somebody ends up doing it or not. But that would be absolutely positively insane. All right, let's keep it moving here around the Adam Butler move. Again, I don't want anybody to throw out PFF grades. I think PFF does a good job. But if anybody tells me, oh, but his PFF grades are low, they're 60, to be honest, then you didn't watch a lot of Adam Butler play. Quite frankly, sometimes, and I get, when people nerd out on PFF, I love PFF stuff too, right? Like, I love looking at offensive lines, but I don't want PFF grades in regards to Adam Butler because I actually don't know how you can watch Adam Butler for an entire season and grade him the way that you do. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But I do think the value that you're able to get him, again, 30, he's going to be 33 years old at the end of that contract. But one of the things that I want people to look at is, again, like, these are the little things that, this is why I want people to subscribe to the Raiders Report, and I hope that, these thought processes is why you enjoy the show. I like rumors. I always like to say where there's smoke, there's fire, because in my mind, I like to think about that stuff. I want y'all to see how many contracts go for 3 years this offseason, okay? I just want you to think about it. And the only reason why that I say that is this. I think the Raiders are giving themselves a 2 to 3 year window because Alex Kappa, 2-year deal, $11 million. Max Crosby's deal, none of the guarantees. The guarantees are done after 3 years, but his salary cap takes a dip. So when you think about the window, that's kind of when they're thinking that window is. Pete Carroll got a contract, 3 years, 4th-year option. John Spytek, 5 years. So, like, the fact that they brought back Adam Butler for 3 years tells me that that was one of their building block foundational pieces that they valued and said, you know what, I'm tying this guy to Max Crosby. I'm tying this guy to Pete Carroll. So one of the things that I want y'all to look for during free agency, and again, there's going to be a lot of moves, that's one of the things that I want you to keep in the back of your mind, because when I saw that contract, the first thing I saw was how much money was it? Oh man, it's Adam Butler, 16, 11 mil. I love it. So like, you have the opportunity to get out of that contract, just like Alex Kappa. Again, his contract's technically a 1-year deal, but Max, the Raiders, if they're not good in 2 years, you could technically get out of that deal. One of the things that I'm going to look for in the Geno Smith contract, when he does end up getting it, because he's going to get 40 to 45, and I'm going to tell you this, which I can't believe I'm saying, I'm okay them giving Geno 40 to 45. I did a video, and it's an in-depth video. It's actually like a 40-minute long video, the longest one I've ever done on the Raiders Report. And it's my just film breakdown of Geno, and I watched a lot of film, probably about 8 hours over the weekend. Alex is in L.A. for a bachelorette party, so I've had some extra time to, watch some Raiders stuff and hang out with Chuck, which has been great. But I like Geno Smith way more than I ever thought that I would. And if you believe in this regime, and if you just believe in everything that we've been talking about, where Chip Kelly to, Greg Olsen to Pete Carroll to John Spytek to Tom Brady, Geno's going to fit really well with that group. And just go check out the video. It's 40 minutes long. But my point is, he's got 1 year right now on his contract. The way that I think that this is going to end up going down, I think that they're going to give him 2 years. Sorry about that. I got to do something for work at 10 o'clock. Sorry about it. My bad. That's on me. That's another, turn on your notifications. That way, when the Raiders drop a video, you end up getting one. But what was I saying? Geno Smith. I could see him getting a deal that's like 3 year, okay? Like 3 year extension on top of that deal. But really, it's only 2 years guaranteed. And then that next year, they can get out of it. He'd still probably get a little bit of money. But I don't want people to get freaked out when it looks something like, 3 years, 100 million, 3 years, 120 million with like 80 to 90 million guaranteed. This was something that I think the Raiders have got for a while, and I only say that because they were looking at Matthew Stafford. They missed out on Matthew Stafford. Then they turned their attention to Geno Smith. I would imagine that they tried to offer Stafford 2 for 100 million guaranteed. I mean, who knows? Maybe they offered Geno Smith 2 for 90 with 90 million guaranteed. And if you're Geno, you go, all right, man, shit, I'll probably take that money. Why the hell not? All right, y'all. So, again, appreciate all y'all that tuned in to today's show. The breaking news is Adam Butler is going back to the Las Vegas Raiders, and I think it is a fantastic move. And I know we kind of went on a tangent there about contracts, but I do think it's really important stuff that just randomly pops in my mind. Some other players that I would want the Raiders to target tomorrow. Keep an eye out for cornerback DJ Reed. He's somebody that I would keep an eye out for. Byron Murphy would be somebody. Cam Bynum would probably be 3 names that I would throw out there. Maybe even a Carlton Davis. At wide receiver, Tyler Lockett's an obvious one. Somebody like Mike Williams, somebody like Keenan Allen. Not that I like Mike Williams, but he's got a connection to the Raiders wide receiver coach, Chris Beatty. Chris Godwin's obviously a name to throw out there. Matt Collins. But the amount of free agent videos that I have made, right, where I talk about guys in the trenches like Mekhi Becton, who I would like, to tight ends if they trade Mayer, like, hey, I know Harrison Bryant's still out there. Austin Hooper actually just got signed. But, I want somebody who could block a tight end, maybe like a Mo Alley Cox. The amount of free agent videos that I made, if you've enjoyed today's show and you enjoyed the passion that I try to bring to the table every single day, check out those other videos. And again, the deal's on the table. You got until midnight. $500 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. If somebody's down to party, let's freaking do it. Because Adam Butler fires me up a little bit. All right, y'all. Peace out. I'll see y'all bright and early tomorrow if I don't see you tonight. Wild day. Adam Butler, freaking super stoked, man, that you're back with the silver and black. Great job, Pete Carroll. Great job, John Spytek. Great freaking job, Tom Brady, Patrick Graham, Max Crosby. I feel like we were all a part of it. Tomorrow's going to be fun, and I can't freaking wait, man. For more videos around the Las Vegas Raiders, make sure you click the subscribe button right here. I promise you I got you covered. If you're looking then for even more content on top of that, you can check out one of these videos right here. You can also check out one of these videos right here. For more content around the Raiders, I promise you I'm a hustler, and I hope that you guys see the commitment to excellence. Make sure you subscribe for videos all season long.